The gym buzzed with laughter and chatter as students crowded the bleachers for the annual wrestling demo at Jefferson High. Coaches stood proudly in front of their star athletes, young boys in singlets flexing their biceps, while parents clapped and cheered. In the corner, pushing a mop quietly along the wall, was Mark Riley, the school janitor. At 39, Mark carried himself with a quiet humility. A widowed single dad, he worked nights and weekends just to keep the lights on and food on the table for his 8-year-old son, Tyler. He never complained, even when his knees ached or his hands blistered. But today felt different. Because Tyler was here. Perched at the top of the bleachers, Tyler waved shyly at his dad every time Mark's eyes drifted up. Mark smiled back, though something in his chest tightened when he overheard a group of boys nearby snickering. "That's your dad?" "The janitor," one boy whispered, pointing. Tyler's face fell as he nodded. The boys erupted into laughter, cruel and loud enough for Mark to hear. Trying to shake it off, Mark kept mopping. But then the wrestling coach, Mr. Denton, called out, "Hey, everyone, let's make this fun. Any dads out there want to give our champion a try?" The room quieted. Mark froze. The same boys who'd mocked Tyler started chanting. "Let the janitor do it. Come on, janitor man." The chant grew. Even some parents chuckled. "Yeah, give him a shot," someone called. Mark's ears burned. He could see the shame on Tyler's little face. And then, he set the mop aside. The room hushed as he walked toward the mat, his old work boots squeaking on the gym floor. The champion wrestler smirked at him, clearly expecting an easy show. "Don't hurt yourself, mister," the boy taunted. Mark just smiled faintly and crouched down into position. What no one there knew, not the boys, not even Tyler, was that Mark Riley had once been a state wrestling champion himself. Long before bills, loss, and life wore him down, he'd wrestled with grit and grace. The whistle blew. At first, Mark moved slow, letting the boy try his best moves. The kid got cocky, trying to pin him with brute force. Then, in one swift motion, Mark reversed the hold, flipped the boy clean onto his back, and held him down for the count. The gym went silent. Mr. Denton's jaw dropped. The boys who'd laughed were now wide-eyed. Tyler's mouth hung open, then curled into the biggest grin his father had ever seen. Mark stood, helped the boy to his feet, and shook his hand. Then he turned to the bleachers. "This mat doesn't care what your job is," he said quietly, his voice carrying across the gym. "Doesn't care if you wear a tie or carry a mop. What matters is your heart, and how much you're willing to fight for the people you love." The silence broke into applause. Loud, thunderous applause. Tyler ran down the bleachers and threw his arms around his dad. "I didn't know you were so cool," he whispered. Mark hugged him tight. "You don't have to be cool, buddy," he murmured back. "You just have to be kind. The rest takes care of itself." That day, the janitor taught everyone in that gym a lesson they wouldn't forget, about dignity, about love, and about never underestimating someone because of what they do to make a living. And as father and son walked home that evening, hand in hand, Tyler beamed with pride. For the first time in a long while, Mark held his head high, feeling seen, not just as a janitor, but as a man who refused to stop fighting for what mattered most. Sometimes the quietest heroes walk among us, mops in hand, hearts of gold, reminding us that greatness doesn't always wear a crown. And that was the day the janitor silenced a crowd, and inspired an entire school.